Have you ever caught a faint smell and asked yourself, could that really be me? You shower, you keep your bathroom spotless, you do everything right, and yet, something still feels a little off. If you've ever had that thought, you're not imagining it, and you're certainly not alone. For women after 60, our bodies begin speaking in softer, subtler ways. The skin grows thinner, hormones shift after menopause, and even the daily routines that once made us feel fresh can suddenly work against us. And here's the surprising truth. The habits we think will help, like scrubbing harder with soap or layering on perfume, may actually be the very things making us smell worse. Take the story of Susan Walker, a 68-year-old from Texas. Susan believed that using extra rose-scented soaps and a heavier spray of perfume would keep her clean and confident. But instead, her skin dried out, and the scent she was trying to hide only became stronger. Her experience is a powerful reminder. Sometimes it's not about doing more, it's about doing things differently. And that's exactly what we're going to explore today. In this video, we'll uncover 8 everyday bathroom habits that may be quietly aging your scent. Habits most people never think about, along with simple, doctor-backed solutions that can help you feel fresh, comfortable, and confident again in your own skin. Before we dive in, I'd love to hear from you. Where are you watching from, and what time of day is it right now? Comment below with the number 1 if you've ever wondered about this topic. And don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss out on practical, trustworthy health tips made just for women like you. Habit number 1. Overusing soap down there. Many women believe the cleaner the better. It sounds right, but sometimes doing more can actually make things worse. Take Carolyn Foster, a 69-year-old from Texas. Every morning she lathered with lavender soap, added body powder by noon, and carried wipes for extra freshness. She thought she was protecting herself, but instead, her skin grew dry, irritated, and the odor she wanted to hide only became stronger. Confused, Carolyn asked her doctor. The explanation was surprising. Intimate skin has its own self-cleaning system. It naturally maintains balance with good bacteria and a stable pH. But overwashing, especially with fragranced products, strips away those defenses. The result? Irritation, infections, and more odor, not less. The solution is simple. Use warm water daily and only a gentle, fragrance-free cleanser when truly needed. Within weeks of making this change, Carolyn felt relief. Her irritation faded, and her confidence returned. The truth is, freshness isn't always about adding more products. Sometimes the best care comes from doing less and letting your body's natural system work the way it was designed. Habit number 2. Reusing towels too long. Now let's move to another habit most people don't think twice about: the bath towel. Meet Helen Parker, a 70-year-old grandmother from North Carolina. Helen grew up believing in being practical. "I only use it after I'm clean," she'd laugh, hanging the same towel back on the hook day after day. But soon she noticed her skin didn't feel as fresh. A faint, musty smell lingered in the bathroom, and dry patches began appearing on her arms. The truth is, towels soak up more than just water. In a humid bathroom, they hold onto moisture for hours, creating the perfect breeding ground for bacteria and mildew. Each time Helen reused that towel, she was unknowingly spreading those microbes right back onto her skin. The fix turned out to be simple but powerful. Keep 2 or 3 towels in rotation. Wash them after 2 or 3 uses, and always hang them wide open so air can circulate. Even running the fan or opening a window for a few minutes helps. Once Helen made this change, she felt the difference immediately. Softer skin, a fresher bathroom, and renewed confidence. Sometimes, it's the smallest shifts in routine that protect your comfort every single day. Habit number 3. Ignoring foot care. Now let's turn to a body part that often gets overlooked: our feet. Many of us assume that rinsing them in the shower is enough. But as we age, ignoring foot care becomes one of the sneakiest ways odor, fungus, and discomfort creep into our lives. Take the story of Eleanor James, a 73-year-old from Florida. For most of her life, she never thought twice about her feet. "They're not on display," she'd laugh. But over time, she noticed a sour smell in her shoes, cracked dry skin on her heels, and an itchy feeling between her toes that kept her awake at night. She tried lotions, new socks, even new shoes. Nothing worked. Her doctor explained the truth. Feet are like little ecosystems. Tucked away in socks and shoes all day, they trap sweat and bacteria. And with age, dead skin cells don't shed as quickly, creating the perfect breeding ground for odor and fungus. The fix is simple. Wash your feet thoroughly every day. Not just let water run over them. Use a pumice stone weekly to smooth away dead skin. Dry carefully, especially between the toes. And if odor or itching persists, a light antifungal powder can help. Within weeks of following this routine, Eleanor felt more comfortable, the odor disappeared, and she slipped back into her sandals with confidence. Habit number 4. Flushing toilet with the lid open. Let's move on to a bathroom habit that almost nobody thinks about: flushing the toilet with the lid open. It sounds harmless, right? But science says otherwise. Each time you flush, a spray of tiny, invisible droplets, filled with bacteria and particles, can shoot up to 6 feet into the air. That means your towels, your toothbrush, even the hairbrush you use each morning could be catching that invisible mist. Take the story of Shirley Bennett, a 72-year-old from Wisconsin. Shirley kept her bathroom spotless: polished mirrors, lavender candles, neatly folded towels. But she couldn't figure out why her bathroom sometimes carried a faint, unpleasant odor. One day, a neighbor mentioned something called a toilet plume. Curious, Shirley looked it up and was stunned by the science. Suddenly, she realized that for years she had been flushing with the lid open, right next to her toothbrush. From then on, she made 2 small changes: always closing the lid before flushing, and letting her bathroom fan run a bit longer. The result? Fresher air, cleaner towels, and greater peace of mind. Sometimes protecting your health doesn't require expensive products. It's as simple as closing the lid. Habit number 5. Wearing the same underwear to bed. Now let's talk about a bedtime habit that seems harmless but could be quietly working against you. Wearing the same underwear to bed. Meet Evelyn Thompson, a 71-year-old from Virginia. Evelyn loved her evening routine: a cup of chamomile tea, slipping into her robe, and reading a few pages before turning out the light. For years, she believed changing into pajamas was enough. Why switch underwear, she thought. It's still clean. But here's what most people don't realize. Even on calm days, our bodies release sweat, natural oils, and tiny skin cells. When underwear is worn straight through the night, all of that stays pressed against delicate skin for hours. For older women, whose skin is thinner and more sensitive, this can lead to irritation, stronger odor, or even yeast and bacterial infections. Evelyn's doctor gently explained this, and she tried something simple: fresh cotton underwear before bed. Within days, she noticed she woke up feeling fresher and more comfortable. Later, she experimented with skipping underwear entirely, wearing just a loose cotton nightgown, and discovered her skin felt cooler and irritation disappeared. The lesson? Sometimes, caring for your body isn't about adding more steps. It's about letting your skin breathe. A small change before bed can transform how you feel in the morning. Habit number 6. Not cleaning the bathroom trash bin. Here's a bathroom habit most people never think twice about: the trash bin. Meet Helen Foster, a 73-year-old from Oregon. Helen kept her bathroom sparkling, the counters shined, the mirror was spotless, and she even changed her bath mat regularly. Yet, every so often, a faint sour smell crept back into the room. She scrubbed harder, bought air fresheners, and even swapped soaps, but nothing worked. One day, while tossing tissues into her bathroom bin, she caught a whiff and realized the truth. The smell was coming from there. What many don't realize is that bathroom bins often collect moist items, like cotton pads, wipes, or tissues. That damp environment becomes the perfect breeding ground for bacteria, mildew, and even mold. With the lid usually closed, the odor slowly builds and spreads through the whole bathroom. The fix is simple and quick. Empty the trash every 2 to 3 days, even if it isn't full. Once a week, give it a rinse with warm water and vinegar. Sprinkle in a little baking soda, or drop in a cotton ball with lavender oil for freshness. Sometimes it's not the big things, but the small, overlooked corners that make the biggest difference. A clean bin can completely change how fresh your bathroom feels. Habit number 7. Rarely washing your bathrobe. Now let's talk about something cozy but often overlooked: your bathrobe. Meet Barbara Mitchell, a 71-year-old from Vermont. Barbara adored her robe. It was soft, warm, and felt like an old friend she wrapped herself in every morning after a shower. For years she believed it never really got dirty. "I only wear it when I'm clean," she'd say with a laugh. But then something changed. Even after a fresh shower, she noticed her arms didn't feel as clean, and a faint, musty odor followed her around. Curious, she finally held the fabric close and realized the smell came from her beloved robe. The truth is, even clean bodies release sweat, oils, and tiny flakes of skin. Over time, all of that seeps into the fabric. If the robe isn't washed often, it becomes the perfect place for bacteria and mildew to grow. The fix? Simple. Barbara bought a second robe so she could rotate them. She began washing each one weekly and made sure to hang them wide open to dry, sometimes even letting them air out in the sun. The difference was immediate: fresher mornings, cleaner skin, and a robe that smelled just as comforting as it felt. The lesson here is that true comfort isn't just about softness. It's also about freshness. A clean robe can set the tone for your whole day. Habit number 8. Not rinsing underarms properly after shaving. Now let's talk about a habit that almost no one thinks twice about: rinsing your underarms after shaving. It sounds simple, but skipping this step can quietly work against you. Take Helen Rogers, a 70-year-old retired teacher from Colorado. Helen had always kept up her routine: shave in the shower, swipe on deodorant, and go about her day. But lately, something puzzled her. Even with fresh clothes and strong deodorant, a faint odor seemed to linger. When she finally asked her doctor, the explanation surprised her. Shaving doesn't just remove hair, it also scrapes away dead skin, leftover deodorant, and bacteria living on the surface. Think of it like stirring up the bottom of a pond. If you don't rinse thoroughly afterward, all that debris stays trapped in your freshly opened pores, leading to irritation and odor that deodorant alone can't mask. The fix? Simple. After shaving, Helen started rinsing her underarms carefully with warm water and a soft cloth, then waiting a few minutes before applying deodorant. Within weeks, the difference was clear. No more stubborn odor, just clean, comfortable freshness. The lesson: Sometimes it's not about adding more products, but finishing the job with a little extra care. As we've seen today, it's often not the big routines that shape how we feel in our own skin, but the small, everyday bathroom habits. A towel, a bathrobe, even a simple rinsing habit. They can quietly determine whether you start your day feeling fresh and confident or unsettled and unsure. Here's the truth. Aging does not take away your dignity or your freshness. It simply asks that we treat our bodies with gentler, wiser care. When you listen and make small changes, you're giving yourself the gift of comfort, confidence, and long-lasting health. Now it's your turn. Which of today's habits made you stop and think, "That's me"? Drop a 1 in the comments so I know you're on this journey with me. And don't forget, hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a tip. Each video is a small step, but together we're rewriting the story of aging. Not as decline, but as growth, strength, and vitality. If you have a friend, a sister, or a neighbor over 60, share this video with them. You'll be surprised how one simple action from you can give someone else the courage to feel confident again in their own skin. Remember, freshness and confidence aren't lost with age. They're qualities you continue to grow, day by day. And you deserve every bit of it.